Welcome back to Squawk Box this morning. We've got some more bad news for Boeing over the weekend. The FAA saying that the 737 MAX and a Boeing plane, and another Boeing plane, I should say, contain a faulty part in their wing. We want to get over to Phil LeBeau, who's got more on this developing story. Phil.
And Andrew, the two planes affected, the MAX, which is already grounded, and the 737 NG next generation. You know when you're flying and you look out the window and you see the wing and you see those slats that come down, particularly as you're preparing to land, the tracks which control those slats may have some defective parts. Now, we say may because it has not been determined that all of the parts need to be replaced. So Boeing is working with those airlines that have the 737 NG. They don't have to ground those planes, but they do need to inspect, and then if there are faulty parts, those parts need to be fixed. Also, a report over the weekend in the New York Times, once again, detailing how test pilots and engineers feel that the design of the 737 MAX was changed in process, which contributed to the problems that we've been documenting over the last several months, especially with regard to the MCAS flight control software. We're going to be talking with Boeing CEO Dennis Muilenburg today on the Exchange. You do not want to miss this interview. We'll talk with him at 1:30 p.m. We're going to talk about the business, about what happens next for the 737 MAX, their plans to get it back in the air, whether or not that will happen as quickly as many people believe it might, or if it might have to be extended out. You do not want to miss this interview, guys.
Phil, in terms of just, well, let me just ask you a quick follow-up on this. The story over the weekend, how much does that move the story forward? What is the impact in Washington? What is the impact on these planes getting back in the air?
I'm not sure that it moves it forward in terms of telling us anything that we hadn't seen before. I think it's a confirmation of everything that we've been reporting on, that others have been reporting on, that this was a process that, because of the accelerated pace, it left a lot of people making assumptions or Boeing making decisions that you look back on now and regulators look back on now and say, wait a second, who approved this? Who made this decision? And if that's how Boeing approved the 737 MAX, does it need to be changed in the future as they develop planes? In other words, what can be learned from this? I think that's what the primary thing that's being the focus of regulators in Washington.
Hey, Phil, just following up on that again, look, there have been all kinds of newspaper reports that have been really conclusive, that have found a lot of these things.
Sure.
Do you think the company's in a position to finally say, yes, this is where we messed up along the way?
That's a question we're going to put to Dennis Muilenburg this afternoon. There have been a number of comments from him and from Boeing overall. When you reach out to them for a comment saying, we understand that mistakes were made, we want to take a look at this and understand it better. At some point, I think the broader market is looking for a definitive statement from Boeing, and whether or not we get it from Dennis Muilenburg, it may not happen today, but do we get it at some point where they say, look, this is exactly what happened, exactly what went wrong, and here are the steps we're taking to make sure, A, it doesn't happen again, and B, what's the fallout from that? Do we change the way the process is structured, the way people make decisions, et cetera?